Hey everybody. I'd like to use this time to talk to you about an extra credit option. It's not required, but it's something that's available to if you'd like. And that is, sometimes it can be really fun. That is to do a presentation that all of us will be able to see on a specific topic related to the units that we've been studying. Again, you don't have to do this, but perhaps you could use some extra points, or it's just you would like to explore a specific topic and share it. All right. Here's the specifics. It's you can do it twice during the semester, and the topics just have to do with something that's related to the units that we've been studying, and it is to make a presentation, either a PowerPoint presentation that you record and present, like you've seen me do many times, right? Or it can be a Prezi if you have Gmail. But it should include, clear images, documentation, and you'll be talking about what we see and leading us through your thesis statement and your thesis discussion about what it is you're talking about. Brief. About 10 minutes is fine. Right? I'd say at least right about 10 minutes, shoot for that. No more than 15 minutes. If you've noticed this semester, my goal is always to keep all the presentations I do under 15 minutes. I figure you can always go back and look if you want to see it again, or you want to stop at an image and spend more time, or read through things that I've posted. But that's kind of what I was thinking about, is that you would clearly put a storyboard together of your presentation, and any descriptive words that you need to have, or phrases or quotes or whatever, so that people can slow down and watch it more carefully if they'd like, but you will go through fairly succinctly and complete it in 10 to 15 minutes maximum, right? So that's the idea, to create a PowerPoint or Prezi that will then be presented and everybody will see it. Now, some people, that's just freaks them out. Many of you, it's really easy. I had never done it this way before this semester, so maybe you've noticed. I've never done a lot of things before this semester. Maybe you've noticed, but it's been fun to learn. It's stretching. I'm being stretched, and maybe you'll be stretched too. But anyways, if it absolutely just freaks you out, the idea of having to do a PowerPoint or a Prezi, you can also, another option is that I will give you the option to do this in the form of a traditional paper and just submit it to me, and we can share it with everybody also, a 3 to 5 page paper. So if that's an option, something that you'd like better, fine. I think doing a presentation like this is much more enjoyable. It's also much more it's shared pretty easily. You can keep it in small sound bites and make it really something that is valuable to everyone. Okay, so what topics, right? Well, you can choose topics from the first unit, and I have several topics to suggest from this unit also. And in fact, the very next video under this goes through 7 different artists who are currently working, contemporary artists who work in clay, and they're also doing busts, and in a really kind of hip way. And so I intentionally didn't talk about them in the previous presentations, because I wanted to give you this option. They're kind of hot. I mean, as far as, they're hot commodities. Their work's selling well. Their ideas are, really riveting to a lot of people. Critics think they're really interesting artists. The idea for me would be, you tell us why they're so important, or why they're interesting, or why they're getting attention in any way. Why is their artwork being considered hip? All right. Okay, so that's one option. And so you just go down and you read through, and if you like any of those artists and you go, I want to know about that person and I want to talk about them, so you need to be the first to contact me through an email, call me, however you want, and say, I would really like to do that. Okay, and if you want to do that, then that's crossed off, because we don't want to have repeats. So that's why all of your topics, if you would like to do this for extra credit, you just need to run it by me first, and then I write that down, and then nobody else is going to do that one, because it'd be silly if we got 3 of the same person, right? All right, so watch the next video and you'll get some ideas, but you're not limited to that. You can look at this great big topic of funk art and modernism in general that we're studying now, and if you come up with a topic, all you need to do is pitch it to me, like you're a writer and you're pitching a screenplay to some director that's going to okay, we'll make that. Say, I want to do a report on so-and-so, but you also have to include this, and this is the important, this is a thesis statement, right? So you don't just say, I'd like to do my report on Yanagi from the previous unit. Yanagi was, of course, a curator and an intellectual and a writer about art, and quite a very spiritual man, actually. So you just want to say, I want to do it on Yanagi. You want to do it, and you want to say, I want to do mine on specifically on how Zen Buddhism affected Yanagi's and his aesthetic of art, and then how it caused him to curate the kind of shows and to promote the kind of artwork in Japan that he did, for example. So it's a thesis statement is your subject matter plus a connecting idea. So you don't just say Yanagi, you say, how did Yanagi this? Or Yanagi because, right? Yanagi is the subject matter. What's the big because, right? So, for example, we've all done and heard about, well, not we've done, but we've heard a lot about Arneson, right? So it'd kind of be silly if somebody did, I want to do a basic one on Arneson, like, Arneson was born in Venetian, blah, blah, blah. You go through all that. And that's not going to teach us anything new. But if you said something really specific about his politics or something, or his views on, some of the last work he did that I didn't even talk about, he was accused of being having a racial tendencies and stuff like that in his work and being kind of a bigot. And it really bothered him. And so he made a whole bunch of work that was kind of defending himself. And it's all of African-American men that were in the news then. I didn't bring that up, because there's multifacets to Bob, as we've already talked about. But that would be a topic. How do you make that into a brief thesis statement? Yeah? That might be teaching us something we didn't know. Hey, did you know this about Bob? Huh. All right. So you get it, right? So just for example, you can go back into other units. If you, in our previous units, you thought Hamada was just the shizzle, you liked Hamada, or Leach, the British guy, kind of stodgy to me, but if you liked him, Yanagi wrote a bunch of books, really cool guy. Read a little bit, right? The Unknown Craftsman. Just Google that and read about it. Volkas, right? All those people. There's a bunch. You can go back in units. And you can either pick things or you can pitch me. But you have to okay it with me first, because I want to talk to you about your thesis. Because when this gets presented to everybody, I want it to be something you're really proud of, and I want it to be something that we all benefit from. Okay? All right. So just so you know, these are 50 points each, and you can do 2 of them throughout the semester. So it could be, if you do a good job, up to 100 points, which is 10% of a grade, or 10% of the semester grade. So that's pretty substantial. So if you've fallen behind and this kind of thing seems up your alley and you like to do research and, you don't mind, doing a little presentation, we'll do that, right? Okay, so this is an option. It's not a requirement, but keep it in mind. And for now, just out of curiosity, if you want to go down to the next video and look at some of these artists, they also are directly applicable to this unit's content on sculpting busts, but also they all riff off funk and postmodernism, and they're all contemporary. So with that said, that is your extra credit option for now. And keep in mind that as we go on through future units, you are welcome to also glean those units and come up with the topics from those, and I will make suggestions also there if you would like to do a extra credit presentation there too. All right, goodbye for now.